So you've been looking at a few watch build videos on YouTube. Maybe you've been scrolling Instagram and you've seen all these amazing watch builds people are posting up, and it's inspired you to give it a shot for yourself. But where do you start? What do you need? Well, today we're going to go through all the basic tools that you're going to need to build an amazing watch for yourself. So when I got into this as a hobby around 3 or 4 years ago, I started by buying one of those cheap watch repair kits that you find on AliExpress or Amazon. And to be honest, I found most of the tools in it useless. They would always give me the scratched hands or maybe even a scratched dial, and I was just never happy with the finished product. So with that in mind, I've put together what I think is a great beginner's tool list, which will be good enough to tackle any job. So here it all is. All the tools to get you through about 99% of watch builds. Starting off with our side cutters. Now we use these for trimming the dials, the little feet on the back of the dials. Also good for trimming the crown stems and also holding the crown stems as well. So they're must have. We've got our movement holder. So this is used for placing your movement in. Your movement sits in here. It allows you to easily place the hands because it gives you a nice flat surface to work with. Definitely an essential bit of kit. Plastic tweezers. Now I like the plastic tweezers because the plastic doesn't scratch the hands. So if you were to pick up a handset with these, or even maybe a dial, you're not going to scratch anything with the plastic hands. The cheap kits that you get off AliExpress, the watch repair kits, they come with metal pliers and they can easily scratch the hands. So plastic tweezers are the way to go. Lens pen. Now this is the best tool I believe for cleaning your sapphire crystal and making sure there's no smudges on it. Definitely get yourself one of these. By far the best way to clean a crystal. Now here's our hand setting tool. Now I still use this. The first one I bought comes with a whole bunch of different tips. So these tips are interchangeable. Gives you different sizes for pressing on minute hands or hour hands, second hands. And the reason I like this style is because I can set the dial and the movement under this hand, and once it's there, I know everything there is in the right spot. So all I have to concentrate on is actually lining up the hand itself. So it just takes out a bit of variability with my other hand being free, whereas this goes up and down. There's a little bit of play in it, but I believe it just makes it a lot easier and just one less thing to worry about. So yeah, this is what I go with. Screwdrivers. Now, good screwdriver set's quite important, I believe. I use this a lot. Use it for taking off and on bracelets or rubber straps, crown stems from movements. I use a little screwdriver. I also use the knurling on the screwdriver. You can use it to file down the back of the dial. So these are a great little tool. Definitely need at least one of these small jeweler's screwdrivers. Top rotates independently so you can put pressure and rotate. Just a must have in your toolkit. Now here we have an air blower. Now this is used for cleaning mainly, so getting any dust off the dial, any debris out from underneath the sapphire, cleaning any dust, basically anywhere, blowing out your movement. Definitely handy to have. Gasket lubricant. So basically you open that up, it's got silicone in there, you pop your gasket in, close it, give it a rotate, and that lubricates your gasket. So definitely an important part of building watches to have nice lubricated gaskets. Helps keep the cases water resistant with that, giving it that silicone barrier. So if you're going to be swimming or getting your watches wet, definitely invest in some gasket lubricant and help keep your watches water resistant. Now this little green thing might not look like much, but this is what you call Roto. It's almost like blue tack, basically, jeweler's blue tack. I use this for setting hands. So basically, I'll stick my hand set in the end of here, and I can use this to place the hand down, and I don't have to worry about scratching a hand or leaving any marks on the hand. It's also great for cleaning. If you get any marks on your hands, on the watch hands that is, you can use this Roto and just give it a little dab and it'll clean up any marks from your handset or your dial as well. So Roto is a must. Definitely buy this. Thread locker. So this is used for attaching the crown to the crown stem. So once you cut your crown stem to length, just pop a data thread locker on it and then screw your crown on. That'll stop the two ever coming apart. What can happen if you don't use thread locker is the crown can unscrew from the crown stem, and then your watch won't be able to operate properly. So very important as well. Now these are our case back tools. So I've got two types here. This is a 3-prong one. When you buy these tips are interchangeable. So you can swap them for different style tips. It's a universal one, so you can unwind it, make it wider here. So these are good for the like SKX style case backs with notches in it. Yeah, just a handy tool to have. Definitely need one of these if you're going to be doing, SKX style builds or any watch with a notch case back. And your other style of case back remover is this style. Now this is more for like your Rolex style case backs, the Submariners and Datejust style mods. This is interchangeable, so you can buy it as a kit and you will get different sizes, which is nice to have. So you can also get the rubber ball style case back removers, which are good, but I much prefer these. You get a nice positive grip with the big handle and you're really able to torque down the case back properly, which ensures good water resistance for your case. So these are fairly cheap, it's $30 or so for this set, but well worth it in my experience. Now these are hand remover tools. So when I started, I certainly stuffed up quite a lot, and I didn't have these until later on when I found out that I needed them. So basically these use one on either side and you can just wedge up the hands like that. So definitely handy to have. I know I screwed up a lot of hands when I was just starting out, so being able to remove the hands properly definitely helps. Now, if you're going to buy your hand remover tools, the other thing you're going to need is a dial protector. So this sits on top of your dial and then you can lever your hands off using the screwdriver, and this is going to protect the dial from any scratches. So these two go hand in hand. If you're going to buy hand remover tools, definitely buy dial protectors. Now the last tool that I have on my list, this is a crystal press, just a basic crystal press. So basically these dies are interchangeable. They screw and unscrew, and what will happen is you sit your watch case there and you just press your crystal in like so. These aren't the best crystal press, I'll be honest, but it'll get you going. The key to using these is just to go really slowly and to keep rotating your case. just because of the design, you don't really get an even amount of pressure applied to the crystal. So just going really slowly and just rotate your piece 90 degrees at a time. Just go slowly. And that's the way I've found to get a good crystal press using one of these. So most cases that you buy from AliExpress are already going to have a crystal fitted, but if you're going to buy your parts from, say, Namoki, you might have to fit the crystal yourself. So that's when these come in handy. Not necessary, but depending on where you're going to buy your parts from, yeah, you'll be needing one of these. So there are all the tools that I use on a daily basis. Relatively cheap, but definitely worth the investment if you're going to build yourself a few watches. I just think those cheap kits from AliExpress or Amazon, they're just really not worth it in the long run. Half of the tools in the kit you're not really going to use too much, and the other half I find just aren't the best quality. So it's worthwhile just investing a few extra dollars and just buying specific tools that you need, and that way you'll end up with a much better quality finished product that you'll be proud of. So I hope this video helps you guys out there who are just looking to get into the hobby and just starting out the path of watch building. It's definitely a deep rabbit hole that you can go down, and it gets quite addictive. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.